CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales? Hello people, what is happening? You're back to CHAP tales. Hello people, how you doing? Alright, so just another little story out of the nut. So yeah, I was thinking about some of the concerts I've been to over the years, and this one was right up there with being proper crazy. And it was Oasis on the Be Here Now tour in September 1997 at Earls Court Arena. Amazing. We'd been to see Oasis in April of that year at Wembley Arena, and now September, we're end of September 26, something like that. I think they'd done 3 nights and I went to all 3 of them. Yeah, God, in the day, Oasis, they was my band. It's still one of my top 5 bands now, you know what I mean? Alright, so yeah, craziness. Yeah, so who was at this one? So there was me, Ben Ide, Ty Tahiri, Matty Benson, James Gummer. There was a couple of other people as well, but I cannot remember. So if you listen to this and you was there, tell me in the comments. Alright, yeah, so we obviously, before we made our way down to Earls Court, had a couple of drinks. We was pretty young at the time. I don't even know how old I was. If I was 10 in 91, so I'd have been, 16? Yeah, 16, coming on 17. So, yeah, so we all went and had some drinks and that, probably in a park, something like that. And then made our way to Earls Court. And then I can remember it was crazy. It just seemed like there was so many people there, and they had this weird, like the way they'd done the queues is like they was like winding up and down and up and down. So you're like in the middle of just loads of people in different queues at any one time, you know what I mean? And I can remember we like went down this straight bit of queue, and then there was like people coming up the queue on either side, do you know what I mean? One side's going to join the queue part we're in, and then the other side is the people that are a little bit ahead of us in the queue. So yeah, we came to this bit and we was all like proper raring to go. Oasis. And some fella in another part of the queue had like a little stereo with him, and at that time he was blaring out Park Life by Blur. And well, I'm not going to tell you any names of people that did certain things or whatever, but basically you're in an Oasis queue in 1997, the Britpop years, and Oasis and Blur at the time, even though I'm a massive Blur fan as well, just been to see them at Wembley. But at that time, people just, do you know what I mean, use either in one camp or the other. And yeah, so blaring Blur in an Oasis queue is probably not a great idea. But anyway, let's just say a group of Oasis fans took it upon themselves to get this geezer's stereo and to smash it to pieces in the queue in front of the guy's face. And yeah, I don't think he had a bad word to say about it. So yeah, that was the start of things going wrong anyway. So we're in this queue, I don't know how long we was in it for, it seemed like forever. We probably got there proper early as well, because we was quite near the front of the queue. So as we got to the doors of like into Earls Court, you know what I mean? Like, it's mad, because it's like the minute you get past that bit, you're just running. You're running to get as close to the front as you can. And I'll tell you what, we've done well, because we managed to get to the front, not in the pit obviously, but between the pit and the rest of the crowd. We was at the front of that, you know what I mean, like where they're giving out bottles of water and all that. But anyway, we're bang at the front like that, and I can remember like the support act came on, and it was the Verve, and oh my god, you know what I mean. After releasing an album like Urban Hymns, oh, what an album! Great band, and a great frontman. Ashcroft, top geezer, amazing. So I mean, they just started us off, you know what I mean, for the night that we was gonna have, but it was crazy. So anyway, so they leave the stage, and then Oasis come on. I think they started with B&L or something like that. But the minute they started playing, the whole of Earls Court just think that they can get to the front by pushing or whatever, and boom, because we was up against the fence. Oh my god, it was just like unbelievable. We was just squashed like nothing, and Ben Hyde and James Gummer, they got it quite bad, man. Like, and they were squashed as anything, and in the end they had to be pulled out by the fellas that were giving out the water and that. So James and Ben just both got pulled out of the crowd and sent off down to wherever. We didn't have a clue, like, and Matty as well. I don't think he got pulled out, but I think he just wandered off somehow. I don't know, because all I remember is being stuck next to Ty right at the front watching Oasis. And it's mad because like they'd all disappeared, and then Type's like, how did Ben get there? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, Ben is in the pit. And I was like, what? We looked forward, like past all the people passing the water out and that, and yes, Ben Hyde was in the pit at the front, and he didn't have no top on, and he didn't have no top in his hands either, so I don't know what happened to his clothes. But he was in the pit, and we just could not believe what we were seeing. It was unbelievable. And anyway, so we carried on watching the gig, and then I think like they finished with All Around the World or something like that. And at this point, Ty proper needs the toilet. He's like dying to go to the toilet, and he's saying to me, John, come on, let's get pulled out, please, just so I can go to... I was like, Ty, I love to stay to the end, you know what I mean? Anything, you know what I mean? When I go and see the Arsenal... You know what I mean? If we're losing 5-0 and 10 minutes to go, you see everyone leaving the stadium. Not me. I will stay there till the very end, to the bitter end. I was like to Ty, but I was like, Ty, man, just hold it in. And he's like screaming like a baby. Anyway, so we get through it though, yeah. And Oasis finish, leave the stage. So then, boom. Because the big crowd behind us, the only real way to get out of there quickly is to get pulled over by the people who were passing the water out. So we both pretended that we was like quite crushed and that, and they pulled us over, and we started walking down like where they send you in a bit of a hurry. And it was so funny because as we got to the end of there, we bumped into Ben coming out of the pit, and we was like, Ben. Anyway, we went to the toilet, and where we was as well, there was a decent toilet that didn't have too many people in it as well, right? So we went to the toilet and that, and then we were saying to Ben, what happened? And he was like, well, look, I came to the end of it, and then I was feeling all right. He goes, but James got taken to a hospital tent. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. So then I turned around and I tried to come back to you, and they said no. And in the end, some other guy just pushed me into the front pit, so I just went in there, like, and I was like, you lucky git. So anyway, so we was like, so what, James is in a hospital tent? And he's like, yeah, it's over there. Like, so we made our way to this hospital tent where James was, and he was all right. By the time we got there, he'd been there like quite a while or whatever, and he was all right and that, and he'd like been given loads of water and whatever, but he was all right. So we so we was all back as a group, and then we just made our way to the front and bumped into a few other people we knew. Like there was some girl called Zoe that we bumped into, and then we just basically waited to get on the tube at Earls Court, you know what I mean, like with about it felt like 500,000 people trying to go down the tube station. But yeah, it was mental. And yeah, I think like they played 3 nights, and I think I went to all 3 of them, because I remember they'd done 3 at the Wembley Arena gig, and I went to all of them as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think we queued up. We definitely queued up for the Wembley tickets. I can't even remember how we got the Earls Court tickets. We might have queued again. I can't really remember. But yeah, crazy mental. But Oasis were amazing, you know what I mean? Like, and on the B&L tour, they had like the telephone box and like the car with the drum kit on it, and do you know what I mean? Bit of you know, bit proppy. But it was amazing. It was amazing. Liam was great. Noel was great. Bonehead was great. Griggs was great. Alan White was great. Do you know what I mean? It was a great gig. Yeah. And that night especially, because like the other 2 nights, I can't remember if any of the others came with me to the other 2 nights, or whether I was with other friends. But out of the 3 nights, that was definitely the best night. Unbelievable. Yes, nice one. So yeah, so that's this little chapter, and I will speak to you lot very soon. Mwah. Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales?